Hi everybody, welcome back to the 9th episode of Explained. Today we will talk about hardware startups and the challenges that they face on their journey to success. We will first take a look at hardware development as a very complex process. Then we will take a look at how we can learn from mistakes, at scalability problems in hardware startups, and finally I will give you a bit of a summary. So you might know that hardware development in comparison to software development is extremely time consuming. In comparison, software development teams usually work in 2-week sprints, whereas hardware development teams take around 6 months to complete a revision. The difference in time is largely due to the fact that when developing software, small features can be implemented right away. This is not actually feasible when developing hardware. So after the initial development phase, the hardware also needs to be tested and stabilized before the final product is ready to be launched. This cycle needs to be repeated every time anything needs to be changed, so even if the changes in hardware are minor. Additionally, for some hardware startups, it's very challenging to find capable and reliable suppliers. So a lack in the quality of materials can lead to additional cycles of revision, which delays the development even further and strains the often already limited funds of hardware startups. Another process that all startups have to face is learning from mistake. So no matter if hardware, software, or service provider, occasional defeats are part of every startup's journey. So for Xenorix, actually, one of these defeats was the beer analyzer. You might have heard of it before, or you might have not, but the device turned out to be too complex for our technology at the time. The beer analyzer never made it past its prototype phase and then just disappeared. This defeat was a valuable lesson though, because it showed us the importance of being able to tell when an application has failed and when it is time to move on to the next one. So after our failure, we realigned our focus from the beer analyzer onto textiles. And this is a market which we have successfully targeted and already introduced a new product, our Xenolab. So apart from the complexities of hardware development, there are also challenges when it comes to the scalability of hardware. Unlike software, hardware needs to be physically manufactured to be sold on the market. So for that to happen, there needs to be a production line. That usually is very expensive, and especially for young startups which have limited funds, this is quite a strain. At Xenorix, we have now installed a pilot production line, which assists us on our first big scaling step. An additional problem when it comes to scalability is that hardware can only be sold once. So if you think about software in comparison, they can rely on ongoing profit for services such as updates or subscriptions. This is not the case for hardware. So it is very important for hardware startups to consider business models that allow a certain degree of scalability. So for example, hardware rental services, or in Xenorix's case, material sensing as a service. So at Xenorix, we had to overcome many monumental hurdles to bring our technology out of the lab and onto the market. This was only possible because we had such a dedicated team and we were really persistent. We have to face our defeats with dignity, letting them motivate us to develop and improve our technology further, and celebrate even the smallest successes. So if you are planning on founding a hardware startup, make sure to be aware of the challenges that lay ahead, be passionate about the product that you are developing, and learn from your mistakes and correct them as quickly as you can. In the end, giving people a product that makes their lives more convenient is worth all the effort and the dedication that precedes. I will leave you today with this quote from Richard Feynman. Victory usually goes to those green enough to underestimate the monumental hurdles that they are facing. Thanks for watching today. Make sure to contact us if you have any questions at inquiry@xenorix.com. And you can follow us on LinkedIn, subscribe to our channel to not miss out on any episodes, and I will talk to you soon. Have a good day.